The Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such trouble. He's not on second and
Standing out from the crowd is a challenge. You have the passion, courage, and ambition to do something extraordinary. You have an awesome story to tell and a wonderful vision to share with the world. At Eddie Videos, we take that vision and turn it into reality so you can be heard above the rest. You need something different, and we give you the ultimate advantage. We can help you transform your ideas, images, and clips into a professional video that brings your message to life and sets a new bar for excellence. Visuals, voiceovers, editing, animations, whatever you need, we've got it all. If you're a new business looking to make your mark or an experienced company searching for something new and amazing, we're here to help. Trust us to take your video to amazing levels of awesomeness.
Does he have it? Is going to get it. Oh, they're going to toss it. They haven't got it. He's on the outside line, though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now, though, for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such trouble. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry! Hello everybody and welcome back to the iGPFun F3 League here. Formula 3 live from Bathurst. It's round 3 of our last season in 2023 and we're here at Mount Panorama for what is set to be arguably the most difficult race of the season. It's going to be a long race for many. We've seen already in qualifying and practice people falling afoul of this very, very difficult circuit, and I'd imagine that that will be the case throughout the race as well. My name is Ewan O'Leary. I'm alongside James Parfitt once again here for this week, back again after a round away for Suzuka last Sunday. But we're back again and back for another Formula 3 race around here at Bathurst on this occasion. Let's take a look at the drivers' standings after 2 rounds before we go any further. I know it doesn't mean too much after only 2 rounds, but worth looking at nevertheless. Greg Seitz is currently leading the way by a point ahead of Kenton Neuhoff and Max Bortolotta. Andy Flint is 4th on 80 points. Then it's Tony Jimenez who is a few further back than that, and Will McIntyre-Jones back in 6th, a few more further back. Evan Way and Luca Verani are on 71 each in P7. Then it's Robert Ridgway and Connor Gibb to round out the top 10. Adam Talsborough's 11th, ahead of Shaq Williams, who lost a couple of places last time out. Stuart Milne 13th. Pedro Suarez lost even more places. He's 14th. Chuck Morrow and Timo Brown both made up many places. Ben Goethe now 17th, along with Garrett Spence. Lucas Marek and Nick Carty round out the top 20 for the drivers' standings. So that's our top 20, and so it's still very close for the moment, but it's still very early as well. Not worth focusing too much on the championship really until we get to the halfway mark, or even a bit further on than that. So welcome in. I hope you'll enjoy the show this evening, and hopefully it will be a good one. Mount Panorama, James, is obviously a very difficult circuit indeed. It's got walls either side. The corners on their own are difficult enough, and it's going to be a long race for those who don't particularly enjoy driving around this circuit, in which case I wouldn't really understand them, because it's a fantastic one in my opinion.
It's a great circuit. I don't deny that it's not a great circuit, because I believe it is, and I think it is a great circuit. Is it a great circuit in F3s? That's going to be the question. Now, the reason I say that is watching the warm-up, I did see quite a few people take a trip off the side of the track.
Off the side?
Yeah, basically onto the gravel they went, and literally down there as well, down into the chicane. So they went off to the side. Now, it doesn't bode well. The problem is they've been doing it. There's been quite a lot of it happening. I'm just worried a little bit. Now, Purple Zone this week's quite a short one, Ewan, and it's literally just out of turn one. And that is exactly what I mean. So, yeah, Purple Zone turn one, right? But they have issued an instruction, please, between the Blue Zone. Now, the Blue Zone starts from the cutting, goes all the way out to Forest Elbow. Now, in that area, they would like it if you didn't try and do a 3-point turn and you just pressed escape, because otherwise, well, I think you and I can figure out what's going to happen.
I don't think it takes a genius to figure that one out. I think, yeah, when you said off the side, by the way, I thought you meant over the wall and down the mountain where the kangaroos are.
No.
Hopefully not.
I haven't seen anyone do that just yet.
No, not yet. There's still time. Long race coming up, of course. So you know, we'll try not to get our hopes up. It's a few minutes remaining in qualifying. Max Bortolotta currently holds the best time by about half a tenth on Giuseppe Dardone. Greg Seitz, Samuel Hermer are both within a tenth and a half of Bortolotta as well. You'd think because it's such a long and challenging circuit around here at Bathurst that qualifying times will be quite spread apart, but even round here we can't separate these guys. Qualifying is always so close in this series.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's been a fun series. It's been a hard series. You know, these guys are doing incredibly well with the series, and they've always been the same. Like, you know, I wouldn't normally sit and worry about a racetrack when it comes to having the amount of drivers we got on. You know, we've got 40 drivers in the field at the moment. I wouldn't really worry too much, but I'm worried here, and I'm worried because there's a lot of people and it could be chaos. I've got to be honest. I am worried because of the amount of people that's on there, and I'm hoping it'll be okay, but you just never know, do you? And I think that's the thing with this series. You never know what's going to happen.
No, you certainly don't. Already 2 races gone, of course. Still 10 remaining right up until December. Now we'll be going through until, and it's hopefully going to be a good one. We've had a good time in the last couple of seasons, including a last race showdown between sort of winner takes all kind of deal with Lee Aberdeen and Kenzie Newhoff at the end of season 2 in 2023. Kenzie Newhoff securing a title. What a race from the end in 2023 season 3. As we saw, so yeah, a couple of decent seasons so far. Hopefully, another one coming up here. Just around 2 minutes or 3 minutes or so before we will have qualifying complete and we'll be underway for the race as well, and we'll be getting underway with the grid as well when that pops up. But obviously qualifying's got to finish first. Wondering if there are going to be any more improvements. Said since really since day one that we've been doing this series that improvements don't really come while we're on air, because there aren't really, everyone's set their best time already. It's half an hour's a long time. However, we did see at Spa a couple of late laps to take pole position, and there was not so much drama at the end of Suzuka, but you do just never know. There could be a late improvement here. Maybe Bertilla isn't safe on pole for now.
Maybe he's not, and I think with Max Bertilla, as much as you would love, but Max is up there, right? He's up there within the standings. He's had his own moments, and that's the thing. And he's sitting third at the moment, so he's not doing too bad, his old Max Bertilla. But I don't know. It's a weird one, isn't it? Because he's either on it, or he'll have an issue and it's completely the other way. It's really tough with Max to work out what Max is going to turn up, and there's not any detriment to him because he's fast, he's quick, but he has made the odd mistakes, and that's the worrying thing about Max Bertilla, I think, at the moment.
Yeah, it is true. You don't know what you're going to get sometimes, and that can be a problem over a season distance. I think in terms of an individual race, I mean, even here it could go well for him, but difficult to string a season together when it's like that. Struggling to see. Kenzie Neuhoff is in 7th place. Just been improvement there, I believe, by Evan Way, who's got up into 4th ahead of Samuel Hermer. That brings us to 5 drivers within a tenth and a half of pole now, and 7 drivers within 2 tenths. It's quite remarkable. Kenzie Neuhoff is the 7th of those, and it's a decent qualifying for the driver of the number 1. That's exactly where you expect him to be, really, but you'd expect him to finish inside the top 5, race a bit better than he qualifies, as Kenzie Neuhoff always does.
Yeah, I think Kenzie Neuhoff is the champion. Right, and that's the thing with Kenzie Neuhoff. He is the champion, and he can produce the goods. He's never really got on with qualifying. I think that would probably be the fair assessment. I don't think I'm being too out of order there either. I think he does have his moments in qualifying where he can't seem to hook it up, but he can't seem to get it right. But I think overall, he'll be okay. It's Kenzie Neuhoff. He's just Kenzie Neuhoff. He'll be all right. He'll be able to muscle his way through, or he'll get through, nice and comfortably. And I don't think there's going to be any issues for him. So I think for Kenzie Neuhoff, he'll be fine. I don't have an issue, to be honest.
I think he'll be fine. Qualifying about to be completed. Then we are actually out of time now. Giovanni Solito is the driver we're currently on board with, and he's still out there at the moment. The only other driver is Dorian Arroyo in 34th. See if there's an improvement from him coming up here. He's one of those drivers yet to break the 2-minute mark. 2:04. Don't think Solito's going to improve based on the way he went down the skyline there and into the dipper as well. I don't think that's going to be improvement for him. What about Arroyo? No, 2 tenths away for him. So I think we're going to end this session as we are. 42 on the grid, by the way, here today. So everyone will get points provided they complete 90%.
Yeah, just I think that's one of the things as well. They should, most of them should get points, shouldn't they? It's 1 to 40, right? They should be all right. 2 might miss out, but I'm sure there might be a few that might join the wall, to be honest.
Yes, I would imagine so. It wouldn't be a race at Bathurst without it. A sort of be conservative in the opening moments of the race, and then generally push more towards the end. That's generally what you see in a race at Bathurst of any length, really. Never mind the longer ones, but take the first part calmly and then get on with it through the second. Solito and Arroyo still driving it, by the way, and So that's going to extend this session a bit longer. Don't know when it's supposed to end, to be honest with you.
Once the last car gets over the track.
Well, I thought that had just happened with Solito, but they're going round again. Yes, there we go. We should be able to move forward now. Yes, we will. And get into the race here at Bathurst. So we'll run through the grid before this, what will be a very interesting race indeed. Front, of course, Max Bartolotta has taken the pole position here at Bathurst. He'll be able to lead the field away in towards Hell Corner, where we will have that orange zone, of course. No active overtaking on the way in there. However, there will be interesting moments on the run up towards the through the hill and so on. On the opening laps and throughout the race as well. You can overtake through there. There's nothing banned at all. Max Bartolotta then on the front. Alongside him will be Giuseppe Dardoni. Greg Seitz and Evan Way will be on row 2. Then it'll be Samuel Hermer and Francesco Fioroni. Kenzie Newhoff and Timo Braun on row 4 ahead of Tony Jimenez. And Andrea Carter, who won last time out, rounds out the top 10 here. Pedro Suarez and Nicholas Vesman will be next. Luca Verani will be 13th ahead of Robert Ridgway. Graham Seater 15th ahead of Clark Williams. Connor Gibb, who was second place in last season's championship. Chuck Murad and Townsend Stuart Milne round out the top 20. I won't go through many more because we are going to get going very soon. But as you can see, huge grid again as they're lining up around the final corner. Some of them are going to get up to such a speed on the way in there, they're actually going to have to brake for the final turn before beginning the actual race and going over the start-finish line. That's going to be a bit odd for everyone, but anyway, they'll get on with it, as we will in a couple of moments' time. So looks like everybody is ready, apart from the leader, Max Bartolotta. There he is, pulls onto the certainly not even front straight. Those just in the background going to get a bit of a downhill run in towards Hell Corner, where we've seen much drama in years gone past. We're underway at Bathurst. Max Bartolotta leads the field to green here tonight. And after pole position in qualifying, it's an early race lead as well. Giuseppe Dardoni is in second ahead of Greg Seitz. And it's single file on the way out of turn number 1.
Yeah, they are at the moment. They're settling on their way up here as well, Diodoni and Seitz. Now we are up and running, racing. Now, this is the part. Here we go. They all come rushing through. Glamseater side by side there as well with Robert Widgway. They make it through. What about further back? Jacques Willems makes it through as well. Now this is where the danger's going to happen. They have said Ewan lifting on over the mountain for the first few sections, and it's going to be tough. So they're going to have to be careful here, and let's see what happens as they carry on through.
Yeah. Carrying on up the hill. Oh, it's a scary moment over through Reed Park there, and now down towards the exceptionally fast corners at McPhillamy. Everyone makes it through nicely, but out front it's Max Bartolotta, who's got off to the best start of all. He's got more than a second over the rest of the field. Dardoni clearly taking that advice of being calm on the opening lap. Bartolotta wants to push from lap 1 to the end.
Yeah, he wants to get away with it here as well. He wants to get and clear off here. So for Bartolotta, he's got to be just trying to open in the gap up as soon as physically possible. He wants to get away. He wants to clear off down the road. And that's what he's got to do. So for Bartolotta, he's doing the right thing. Seitz and Giuseppe Dardoni, now they have been warned about going 3 wide on the opening few laps there as well. Clark Williams battling away here as well. But Dardoni and Seitz going at it now.
Side by side, further back as well. In the pack, that is between Fioroni and Newhoff. Newhoff can't quite get through. Fioroni stays ahead for now, but Newhoff is looking back down the inside again into Hell Corner. Later on the brakes, better on the brakes, better line on the way into Hell Corner and through. Fioroni is going to try and come back again though. It's a great battle between these two on the second lap of the race. Timo Braun with the best seats in the house for this one at the moment. Weaving around goes Fioroni as Newhoff as Fioroni tries to go through. It's outside though at turn 2, Griffin's Bend. That's not going to work surely. It might well do. Round the outside through turn 2, a fantastic move at Griffin's Bend, and Here he goes again. Fioroni back ahead of Neuhoff.
Yeah, they got Fioroni, they got Neuhoff, they got Braun all in the picture here, and there we go. Let's have a look on this hydro race, Racing Forces at F3 here with Kenzie Neuhoff. Let's see how bad it gets as he near enough rides the wall all the way through the mountain. Now this is the one, this is the section. It can either love you or it can kill you. I pray at the top and I thank at the bottom when I get through here. You can see just how much they're trying to work it here as well, Ewan. It is definitely not a section to be sneezed at, shall we say.
No, none of this circuit is, after all. It is Bathurst map panorama at the end of the day. Neuhoff gets close to the wall out of Forest Elbow then as they run down Conrod Straight again for the second time. Max Bartolotta now leads by 1.5, 1.6 seconds. Greg Seitz is up to second now ahead of Giuseppe Dardoni. There's been plenty of change on this opening lap. Seitz ahead of Dardoni, Homer ahead of Way. And Jimenez is falling behind Kata and Suarez to be outside the top 10. Kata wants another place as well. He's on the inside of Timo Brown into the chase.
Yeah, Jimenez has just also been on the defence from Nicholas Westman there once more. Timo Braun giving Andrea Kata a massive headache. So is Pedro Suarez. This is going to develop in. We've just broken the 159.229 with Samuel Hermer. He's sitting in fourth at the moment. The battle is commencing. There is battles all the way through though, Ewan. That's the thing, all the way down into 28th place. There's still battles going on. Samuel Hermer and Evan Way side by side running up into Griffins.
Yeah, it's a good battle. Evan Way wants that place back and he's got it back. Fourth place where he qualified. And he stays ahead now, or gets back ahead, I should say, into fourth. Hermer fifth. Then it is Fioroni and then Neuhoff, who I think both have got a bit of extra pace here and a bit of speed to get inside the top 5 over the next few laps. But the field already beginning to spread apart here on lap 3. That's not exactly a surprise to see around here. On board with Hermer, we are over the top at the moment. Gaps very much appearing now, but not too many incidents on lap 1 or 2. Only Reed Dennis has not made it around the opening lap.
Yeah, Reed Dennis. Clark Williams did go off, but he's come back on again. Reed Dennis looks like he may have kind of terminated himself at some point as well. We'll try and have a look back at that very shortly, but it has been a very fast-paced opening lap at the moment. And I think, to be honest, if I was Bartolotta, I would do what he's done. Bolt away as quickly as possible. Samuel Hermer, Evan Way, see how this one turns out.
Outside line on the way in towards the chase. It will turn to the inside, of course. And through will go Hermer, I think.
Yep.
Oh, it's going to be contested. Yeah, he will be through, though, on the way in towards the break-in. That's quite wide. Way will look to go back through again in towards the final turn. I think it's going to happen. Neuhoff and Fioroni cannot leave each other alone. Last corner again now. Side by side between the two of them. And once again, Fioroni prevails. Neuhoff has to stay behind all over again. But a lot of side by side between those two. They really can't decide who leads. I just don't think Neuhoff has quite got the straight line speed to make these overtakes, which you really need at Bathurst.
Yeah, he does as well. It's been a mixture, hasn't it? You know, between low downforce, high downforce. What do we think they're going to go for here as well? You know, we'll choose. Well, so the news on the inside is Neuhoff has just gone up to the inside of Fioroni. He's taken his nose off as well. We stopped him coming back at him before they start going into that mountain section. And Neuhoff now taking up through the cutting and now should lead all the way through now to Forest Elbow, because it's, let's just put it this way, if it goes side by side up through the mountain, somebody's going to end up in the wall.
Yep, they certainly are, and neither of them want that particularly, so they'll stay behind. But this is also where the gap's open. If you're stuck behind someone, then you have to kind of follow them over the top of the entire mountain. Before you know it, the driver in front of them has gotten away further and you can't have the opportunity to overtake anymore. That's the lock-up and in the wall.
Hermer.
Is it Hermer, I think?
Yeah, Hermer.
Yeah, Samuel Hermer up the race down through Skyline. He went. McPhillamy went okay. What about Skyline? It just gets on that curb, goes for a bit of a spin, locks up straight into the wall. Bathurst unforgiving and he's out the race.
Yeah, he's back into the pits, which means he's got to wait as well for that tow. Greg Seats and Giuseppe Deodoni still going at it for second place here. They've been closing in on Bertilla. They brought his time back down a little bit. I'm not going to lie, Bertilla, fastest lap of the race last time out, 1:58.92. Seitz on a 1:58.98, and then Deodoni on a 1:59.03. So the boys are coming, Bertilla, but you've got to get on your bike, especially as Greg Seitz has just set a 58.87.
Yeah, not bad time at all. You say, you know, it was a good lap. However, it was only half a tenth faster than Bertilla after all. The Ridgeway, by the way, is into the pit lane, which isn't good news. But yeah, despite the fastest lap, Seitz didn't really make much inroad at all into Bertilla's lead. Still a long way to go, of course, in this race. We're only on lap 5. But even so, you can't afford, in these kind of length of races, you can't afford to let the leader get too far away, or you just simply won't see them again. And so Greg Seitz is trying to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, definitely as well. There's a nice little battle down here with Richard Wedstead and Clark Williams. So Williams there in the 98 has just got, oh, he's gone. Where's he gone? Oh no, it's back. Yeah, Williams has just gone past Wedstead there as well. Piotr Potapenko behind that, and Jacques Willems is behind that as well. I want to pick up on the Latvian arrows. You can see their liveries looking very more shiny. I've got to say I do like that. Well done to you guys as well. And Marcis Putniks further back. Hey, you got to give credit where credit due, right? Christian. What?
I'm laughing at the fact you said more shinier or something, as if it's not chrome, the word for that. But anyway. I'll leave it. Well, I've said it now, haven't I? So,
yes,
anyway.
It's a bit late now, isn't it? You've already done it. It is. It's looking a lot more shinier, isn't it?
It's looking chrome, yes. Well, I do like it, by the way. I'll agree with you on that. Oh, no, off the road, down the tipper.
Yeah,
Wedstead. The car off the road.
I've got a funny feeling this is Richard Wedstead. Oh.
It's slightly different. He just goes in with a bit too much speed. So instead of getting the curb like Herma did, it's winning with too much speed. Oh, wow, that was close with one of the drivers going through. Potapenko, yeah, Potapenko, very nearly.
Has he got a straight steering wheel?
What? No, he's not. No, that suspension's damaged. Got left-hand down here. We'll have that quite clear as we go on to Conrod Straight. It's not that bad, but it is suspension damage, certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah, not terrible, but noticeable.
Oh no, Reno Scattini and Matt Brewer.
Oh dear.
I don't know if they've had a coming. Yeah, if they've had a coming together. Oh,
so Scattini's got it wrong, and Brewer had nowhere to go there at all.
No.
Nowhere to go. Going to be in a very attritional race, and a number of drivers already caught out by these real hotspots that we've been talking about before the race. I did think someone had no rear wing coming out the chase. That's why. Poor Adam Talsman there has been tapped in the rear, and the consequences have been quite severe.
Yeah, and do you know what's worse is I can't work out who that actually is behind him.
No. I don't know. They've lost the front wing though.
49. Is that Stuart Milne?
Yeah, it could be. Brakes a bit too late, loses his front wing as well. Although Mills is continuing on, so I'll be surprised if it's him. Still carrying on. Not Solito, was it? Maybe not. No, it wouldn't have been Solito. Don't know. But whoever it was has continued on with no front wing, which I find almost impossible to believe here at this circuit.
I'm trying to find who that is at the moment, and I can't actually find who that is. That's really frustrating. I had the 49, I'm sure it did. But his wing's back on his car.
Well, maybe, we've seen the Irison damage model do change things, so I'd be surprised if it has just popped back on again. And I don't think Townsville was quite so lucky, unfortunately. He did have to go back to pit line, by the way, and get the quick repair. But I believe he's back out in the race. So Solito, who also had to do that, along with someone else as well. Oh dear, smoke at the chase here. What's that all about?
Pironi. He had a coming together with Newhoff. Entering the... oh, no, he got it wrong.
Ooh. Well, it was coming because the two of them were fighting all day long, and now it's turned into something, unfortunately. He's dropped now outside the top 10 for the first time this race, and there's another couple of drivers off at the chase as well. It's Potapenko, one of them, he is. Potapenko
and Tumakins.
Side by side with Tumakins, one of the Latvians who hasn't got a chrome livery, funnily enough.
He has, it's very more shiny. Stop it.
Yeah, he just just drifts into Potapenko though, in my opinion. Didn't quite give enough room, and they both end up going around through the chase. It is difficult, of course, because you're naturally drifting out wide there anyway, so not trying to put too much blame on him, but they both went around, unfortunately, and it's a shame to see a bit of an attritional few laps after everyone took a calm start. They forgot about it entirely as soon as we got to lap 5.
Yeah, it's kind of all got a bit peaked on for some of these people, I'm not going to lie. And to be fair, it started with Hermer. Hermer kicked it off because he was really the main...
We're not blaming him.
No, we're not blaming him. What we're saying is he was the main first one, really. Reed Dennis went off right at the beginning, and then Hermer went off at lap 4. And then we've had a flurry after that. Wedstead went off after that on 5. Then Scatini and Brewer on 5. Then Townsma on 5. So, and then 2 becomes a Potapenko on 6. So let's see if we can get to 11 without our next one, and then we'll have that nice even 4-4 split.
Yes, we'll try our best.
Thank you.
At the moment.
I don't even know why you're saying we'll try our best. We're not the ones in the car, are we? At the end of the day. But I am surprised Stuart Milne's still got his wing. I'm not going to lie, because I'm pretty sure I saw that deteriorate.
I am as well. Andrea Cutter is making up place after place after place here, by the way. He's up to 5th now, ahead of Evan Way, who's lost another one, and is outside the top 5 now. Cutter into 5th. I thought Vesman was going to make a place on Suarez as well, but that's not happened. A few fairly big movers inside the top 10 at the moment, but not so many down the field. Matthew Gracie has gained 10, and so has John McKenzie, but nobody more than 10 so far, which is a little bit unusual for these races. Sometimes you've got someone who's already into the teens as far as races gained are concerned.
Yeah, Robert Ridgway going side by side with Matthew Gracie here. Ridgway has just made that through. So great job for Robert Ridgway. He made it before they even went into the chase there. It's looking like Glamseater has entered into the pits. Christian Glamseater has entered into the pits. I can't see a reason why. I can just see that he's gone in. Ferroni here with Chuck Morrow tucked up right behind him. Battle for 12th and 13th, Ewan.
I think Ferroni just got through on Morrow there and is going to get away now. But prove wrong. There are still many places for him to gain here. I know he went for that spin at the chase, but all is not lost here because this battle is not that far away from him, and he could start picking them off pretty soon.
Yeah, he could do. He's got to get past Tony Jimenez in the drive spots and Luca Varani. So, and we know how quick these guys can be and how tricky it's going to be to ever get past these as well, So let's see how Varani does through the mountain. Okay. Boy's got skills. He went through there fairly well.
Yeah, they're all driving well at the moment, has to be said, inside the top 10. I know Varani isn't quite, but he's knocking on the door and will be breaking his way in pretty soon. It's quite a group, actually. Basically down from... Cutter, yeah, sorry, I had Friarani on my mind. It wasn't him, it was Andrea Cutter in 5th place. Then it's Evan Waite, then everyone else behind. From there, as you can see really from this onboard shot, it's all pretty close, but it's all calmed down slightly, thankfully. We're now through 8 laps of this one. 3rd distance now complete. Max Bortolotta continues to extend his, well, I say extend, he's continued to hold his lead, is probably a better turn of phrase, because it's still just over a second. It's not increasing like, I mean, it was that big at the end of lap 1, wasn't it? It's not increased since then.
No, he hasn't quite managed to get away, you know what I mean? We talk about this saying of going out, right? But, Bartolotta got away.
It's very British.
Yeah,
okay.
Nothing wrong with a good out, you know what I mean? You go out, and then you go to the pub, and then you go out when you go onto the nightclub. But, he got away, Bartolotta, and then he come back, and he's not really getting away again. The problem is he's got this group that are getting to start closing up here as well. Evan Wade's sitting in 6th. That's Kata in front of us. Westman's got about a 1 second gap, but he's got Suarez, Broad, Jimenez and Varani. So Westman at the moment, maybe a little bit of a cork in the bottle, but we'll see how that one develops at the moment. And then Deodoni still following Greg Seats through the mountain.
Oh, yes, he took the wall there, didn't he? Was that a brush on the wall, or did he just get very close? Because I could have sworn he brushed the wall there. Might have gotten away with it, but it's a scary onboard, isn't it? A bit of a lock-up round Forest Elbow, I should say. It's quite an easy corner to do that, though, by the way. When you're running downhill there, almost even when you're not on the brakes that much, the slows you so much. There's so little weight on that front left as you're going downhill there that it actually just starts to leave the ground and under rotate anyway. It can sort of have this locking up look and effect to it. And you're in a downhill left-hander like that. It gets away with it, of course. The front three are still very close together. There's a lot of pressure on these three because there's no room for error. Bathurst creates these kind of races. It's not one of those where we're going to see the leader get away, and to be fair, we haven't had that so far this season, really. The only time we have is towards the second half of both Spa and Suzuka, really. Both of those times we saw a bit of a tailing off of the action, but Bathurst produces these races that just crescendo right at the end. You want to leave your cards on the table for the end, towards the last few laps. That's when you want to be getting towards brushing the wall territory, not here still in the first half of the race, as I believe we might have seen on that last lap.
Yeah, and we've also got Chuck Morrow into the pits as well. Varani and Jimenez. Now, I want to jump on and just watch Varani come up through this mountain section. We're going into Griffin's now, turn one. This is quite a high-speed corner here. You can see in front of us there has been a mistake from Westman. He's just lost a couple of positions. Now he's going to try. The problem is for Westman now, he's now in this state of panic where he thinks he's got to get back up and running. He's got to get going again. He lost a place to Suarez. He lost it to Braun as well. Now he's in this moment where he knows the others are coming. He knows Jimenez is there. He knows Varani is there. And for Westman now, he's going to be feeling a big old state of panic, stress. I've got to get it back, and I don't think he's got it back. I think he made a mistake in the mountain there, Ewan, as well. And for Westman, start settling down there, son, otherwise Parfitt is going to spit you up and chew you out.
Or the opposite way around. Chew you up and spit you out. I don't know.
Yeah, that won't
do either.
What did I say? Yeah, did I start saying that?
You said the opposite way around.
Yeah. Chew you up and spit you out. Yeah, there you go. That makes more sense.
Well, it could do either, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Anyway, on board with Varani as he tries to make the top 10. Seems pretty calm about where he is for now, just on the back of this group. Although he will have to be worried about Fioroni catching up before too long. Please go over the line. These guys fair way back from that now at this stage. They're, quarter of a minute away from the lead already, even in the first half of this race. The gaps are getting fairly large for Bathurst, although still 37 drivers out on the circuit. I believe Matt Brewer is out and now a lap down.
Look at
37 still out there as we've got side-by-side change of position there, have we?
No, Diodoni didn't get through. He was almost bump drafted. He was almost
Brown
bump
got through on Vestman though, further back is what I thought I saw. Maybe not.
Yes,
I don't know.
yes, Braun got through on Westman.
Okay. Yeah, so 8th place for Braun getting through on Westman, who, since that mistake, as he said at the time, seems to be just needing to find his feet again. That's quite difficult to do when there's people so close behind you, as he's finding at the moment. And Varani, I believe, got through, and Jimenez as well on that last lap. So he's now broken into the top 10.
Yep, look at Varani into that 10th place, of course. Doing a stunning job. I'm sure Tony Jimenez is not going to give it up very easy here. So Patrick Rowlands did have an incident. I've got a funny feeling this is running. Oh, Jimenez made a mistake. Jimenez made a mistake coming out of Hell Corner, and that's why Varani got through there, Ewan, as well. Now, this was an interesting one when we picked up on Diodoni and Sights, right? Diodoni was literally pushing Greg Sights up that front stretch from Hell Corner to Griffins. They were almost bump drafted in, like we've seen in NASCAR many times.
Yeah, it's not ideal in these cars either to do that.
No.
As we know. Have we been to Daytona in our time doing this series? I can't quite remember, but I don't even know
we do the
bump
Roval?
drafting would have been possible anyway. Not the oval, the
Roval.
The Roval, of course. But even so, you on the run down towards turn 1, it's possible sometimes. But I don't remember going there. Oh no! In the wall. Who is that? It's Suarez. Yeah, it is Pedro Suarez, and that'll be the end of him, because he's just lost it. You mentioned the dipper, but also you mentioned the final corner, which, surprised to learn it was a real hot spot, but he was losing that even before the curb, and the curb only just sealed the deal. Suarez loses his front wing and loses his top 10 position as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is Suarez done there. I got a funny feeling, or as we say, out.
Sorry to the non-British people watching this this stream at the moment, because you've got no idea what's going on at the moment. I apologise. Jimenez back ahead of Varane, is he?
Yeah, that was Suarez. I think Suarez had something to do. Oh, Herman's gone.
Okay. Oh. So he's... Oh, it was already going wrong.
Yeah, it looked like he's just... Oh, Diadoni's crashed.
So, this is Diadoni into turn 2. Griffin's Bend, a little bit wide up in front. It's going to be this curb. Into the... Oh, dear. He scrapes along the first wall, and then you've got a little break in the wall for the marshals, of course, and then Diadoni smacks the sort of re-entry of that wall, and those sights has no longer got pressure behind, and Bertilla has only got one driver really to worry about.
That looks very bizarre from Giuseppe Diadoni. Let's have a broad on look. So he goes up, and then he hits the curb on the outside. He gets kind of velcroed into it. There it is. You can see it coming up. Bang! Ouch!
So the curb lifts the front wheels off the ground initially, which is obviously not great news. Then he sort of starts to scrape along the wall, but as there's a break in the wall, obviously it goes further to the left again. And then when the wall re-enters Frey, he's obviously a bit further to the left than he was before, and so he's not scraping on the wall anymore. He's smacks it and spun around, unfortunately. Yeah. So that's pretty much day done for Diadoni, unless he obviously returns again after towing to pit lane or whatever it is. But a real shame. But Sykes won't mind. He's now a bit more secure in second, as Clark Williams has been displaced here by Connor Gibb, I think.
Yes.
He's up to 11th now.
Yeah, Gibbs up 6 places, Williams up 4. Clark Williams, sorry, not Jacques Williams. Jacques Williams is behind up 10. But at the moment, Connor Gibb and Clark Williams can't seem to leave each other alone here. And they've swapped places no fewer than about 3 times already, so they've gone through again. Now the difference is Williams going to hold that.
No, he's not going that wide.
No, so Connor Gibbs gone back through. So yeah, it's been an interesting one with these two.
Yeah, it has. I mean, you never want to go wide at turn 2. The camber through that corner there just doesn't allow for you to do that. Go around the outside there. I know there are some occasions where it's been possible, but not many really. Very difficult corner to race into, really. So you just got to back out of it, and Gibb is through now. I think we'll be away as well. Been the greatest start to the season for Connor Gibb, really, after finishing second in the standings last season. I do wonder whether with some of the new drivers, like, well, they're not all new necessarily, but they are at least returning after not being there at season 3 for most points. The likes of Sykes, Bartolotta, Carter, Fioroni, some others as well, joining the fray has just pushed Connor Gibb down a few positions, and wonder whether this season's field is ever so slightly stronger at the start of this season anyway than the end of last season, where Gibb was the second best driver, of course, over the course of those 12 races. Now Williams heads to the outside again. It's not going to happen there. Maybe the crisscross. No, he doesn't get the traction that he really needed, and Gibb is going to be forced to defend again into the final turn. Instead, he'll just pull to the middle of the road. Williams will still go to the outside anyway, and all back for a late apex and maybe a run onto the front straight. Maybe a go at turn 1. I don't think that's going to happen. No,
he's too far back at the moment. The interesting thing about that was Clark Williams, when we were going down on board with him, and he was maxing that out. That F3, he either set a low gear in or he's not picked the right one, because he was topping that out coming down that hill after the bridge, and it was, you could hear it going right at the top as well. So for Clark Williams there, he's got to use some pace that he's got now, because clearly at the moment it seems Connor Gibb might have that extra straight line speed going down the Conrad, because Gibb still managed to hold on even with the draft. So we'll see if we can pick up on board with Connor Gibb here as he goes on to the Conrad, as long as he's still behind Clark Williams, and see what his gearing's doing.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know if it's going to be all down to that. And to be fair, I thought Gibb would, said earlier, I thought he would get away actually from Williams, really. But it stayed close. These two a bit more evenly matched than I thought, actually. Struggling to make his move here. Stays tighter to the right there for the dip downhill. Though it's not really gaining any time. Going to Forest Elbow. This is the corner where he's going to need a good run. There's the lock-up, the sort of strange lock-up you get at slow speed. Going downhill like that. Not really close enough at all, actually. It's been a good time over the mountain for Williams.
Yeah. So I was just seeing if he was going to redline that. Because I know Williams is. He literally redlined it after.
He's right up towards the top of the...
He's near it, isn't he? He is definitely near it.
Top of the gear edge. I don't know. It's difficult to say how much that's playing a role at the moment. I think these two are just pretty well matched for now, and just finding it out between them. Other close battles further back. This is Mike Zotlov's, I think.
Yeah, Glamseater. Yes.
Now, is this... yes, it is. I'd imagine Glamseater getting back through. Because after problems earlier and for Ridgeway as well, Glamseater looking to gain some of those places back. Really, still -4 on the day so far, but there's at least 3 drivers, not 4 maybe, who are not too far in front of him at the moment.
Yeah, he's been into the pits as well, Christian, so let's not forget that, along with Chuck Morrow and also Edward Amos as well. So Amos is in front of Morrow. So this is Morrow versus Amos for 16th and 17th. The leaders are pretty well spread out. You can see that on the left-hand side. Morrow's going to get that inside line into Griffin's Bend. No, don't do that. You can't do that. I'm not entirely sure what Amos was expecting. I've got to be honest. Yeah. As far as I'm aware, though, you can't. Because if they were nearly close to Lockett Wheels, right? So, look.
Well, let's see. Oh, well, yeah, that's not great. From I don't think Morrow is painting himself in glory. That he's nowhere near the apex, is he?
No.
Morrow. So I reckon he'll be in a bit of trouble for that.
Strange one.
A little bit of a strange one, but yeah, that's on Morrow for me. Ferroni makes his way through on Luca Verani, by the way, and that move is settled pretty easily there. We'll talk quickly about penalties from last week, actually, by the way. From Suzuka, suspended 30-second penalty for Reed Dennis, suspended 60 seconds for Bottalotta for intentional contact on the straight. It would essentially bump drafting what he was punished for, really. And so yeah, those are suspended penalties. Major warnings handed out to Arroyo, Lucas, Seitz and Olszewski throughout that race, and some warnings and other watch things and so on. Andrea Carter, so far as the stewards thing says, disqualified from that race for track limits.
For voluntarily driving off track.
Yeah, track limits. It's extremely wide at Spoon. 29 incident points apparently in 22 laps, which is quite substantial for a track like Suzuka. So he got disqualified in the end and won't get the points at least for last week's race. Hence why he's didn't feature in our championship standings. You may have noticed earlier on. I don't remember. I believe so.
Yeah. He won. Well, it took the win away, obviously, clearly for that one.
Yeah, yes. So a lot of given the win there.
That would have given it to Bartolotta.
Yes.
Yeah, Bartolotta was in second.
As far as the website says, yes, and the website also says, yeah, Qatar has been disqualified from that. So yeah, that's happened since the last week, and so Qatar going to have to do it. Oh no, Williams spins out of Forest Elbow and into the wall. Oh dear, he's lost his front left as well. Thought he'd get away with that and just a trip down pit lane to maybe replace the nose, but gets on the power too early, and or in the wrong way indeed as well, and so around goes Williams. Straight to the outside wall, I think, there as well. Not great impact, and Clark Williams will be at least in the pit lane for a little while.
Yeah, the car just kind of shreds, doesn't it? It just disintegrates there for Williams. There isn't a lot of, how can I put it, steel or metal in the car. It's all pretty much carbon fibre, and it just kind of shredded itself there as well. So unfortunately for Williams, not an ideal scenario. Garrett Spence has also been and finished off his race through the mountain by the looks of it. Yes.
Oh, he nearly saved that. He's held it for so long. Unfortunately, Spence goes off at McPhillamy. And that will be the end for him as well. We're starting to rack up the retirements and the pit stops as well. Retirements, I believe we're down to 34 still in the race. It means 6 gone so far. That's well over 10%. There's the onboard. It's a pretty helpless feeling, really, when you're up on that curb. He did well to hold it for as long as he did, but unfortunately he's not a miracle performer, and that's what it would have taken to save that car, I think.
Yeah, that curb, man, once it grabs you, it's like Velcro. It don't want to let you go. It just doesn't want to. And to be fair, even for Spence, he would have sat there and gone, well, I was holding that, and then all of a sudden the back end's gone round. It is a very bizarre feeling when you sit there and think that you should have held something, and then all of a sudden it just kind of spins you around. It's very bizarre, but unfortunately that's all to do with that curb, and that curb is, well, it's horrible when you come out of that corner if you hit it.
It is, yeah, a really difficult curb to deal with. All these corners, to be fair, have their own difficulties. As over the line goes Bartolotta with a new fastest lap. Another 2/10 put into sights there. The pace at the front of the race, by the way, absolutely scintillating from the both of them. And they're continuing to pull away from the rest, including Newhoff, who is on the podium as things stand. We're on board with Glamseater, though, as he continues to try and make up places. This time it's Zura now who's just up in front, Ivan Zura now. And I think this is going to be 16th place for Glamseater, although he's struggling to have the legs it. Zura now has got good straight line speed. He's going to have to be on the brakes from Glamseater if he does do it. Oh, slap in the face pretty much there from Zura now. Oh, it's he slapped himself in the face, though, pretty soon afterwards.
Mirror driving
gone
that
too
one.
deep into the chase, and well, that was easy in the end for Glamseater.
Yeah, mirror driving. He mirror drove there. He saw Glamseater come in, and then he just mirror drove it after that, and you can't do that. Because if you mirror drive at Bathurst, as he's shown us, it's just, yeah, it's all over, and he did at the chase there as well. Great job, though. You can see the difference in pace. Clearly, Zoranau had more pace than Glamseater did, but just as we say, one mistake and Glamseater got through.
Yep. That's all it takes when margins are as close as they are in that particular part of the order. Pretty close up here as well. It's Timo Brown, not far behind Nicholas Vestman, but more pressingly, he's got Tony Jimenez and Francisco Fioroni just behind. I think Fioroni's challenge really for the remainder of this race is just to try and make up as many places as he can from the mistakes that he's already made, and he is running out of laps slightly to do that. Only a quarter of the race remains.
Yeah, not long to go now. We've got literally 6 laps. Obviously, you know, 6 laps around Bathurst can be quite a while, but that's obviously 12 minutes. Give or take. Jimenez on the defensive into the chase. He's going to come out. Fioroni's on the grass. Let him back through there, son. You took that move on the grass. I think you should let him back through. And he did. So Jimenez takes it. But I think Fioroni coming out of Hell Corner should get him on that run up into Griffins.
It's all about the run out here. He's going to need a good first corner if he's to manage this. Into the turn they go, a little bit wide there from Jimenez, but it wasn't actually a bad exit. It was a late apex and a good run there. I think he'll be fine into turn 2 actually. If he protects the inside, he'll certainly be fine because of the nose in front and having the line. But if he leaves it open, he'll be under pressure. Well, you're only just for show pretty much there, getting in the mirrors and getting very close actually. I don't think he was expecting Jimenez to go so slowly on the entry there. The Spaniards focus clearly more on the exits of these corners rather than the midpoint, as Fioroni seems to be, and that could get him in a bit of trouble if he's not careful. But Fioroni can't make his way through, and the longer this is taking, the less likely it is that he can get to 7th place, because the 2 in front are getting away as a result of their battle.
Yeah, it's got to be frustrating for Fioroni. It really has, but Jimenez deserves to be there at the end of the day. You know, Tony's not slow. You know, by any... Oh! Stop it!
Oh,
Stop
no!
it.
Wow!
Oh.
How did they hang on to that? Francesco Fioroni is through. That was unbelievable racing between the both of them. And I've no idea how they both survived, really, because that kind of stuff's not meant to happen. Have a look at this. He looks around the outside through here. I know there was a mistake from Jimenez, but even so, Fioroni to have the presence of mind to go round the outside through that left-hander, then dive at the right was quite unbelievable. We would have all been shaking our heads if it went wrong, because it would have been a little bit silly, but in the end it was wonderful, and he's through into 8th place.
Yeah, absolutely stunning drive there as well from Francesco Fioroni. I do love Garrett Spence's comment in YouTube. I hope they never schedule this car on this track again.
Why not?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. They've grouped up here as well. Townsman's in there, Mackenzie's in there. It's a great circuit, but as I said, I don't know if it suits these cars. Don't get me wrong, I've seen W12s go through this circuit, and they were doing it, that chicane, that mountain section, in like 7th gear or 6th gear or something crazy. So they were flying through here, but I don't know. I don't know if it's made for referees.
Well, I think that's what makes it good, personally. But anyway, I understand that some people may not enjoy it so much. I think, obviously, we're mainly talking from a spectator's point of view here. It's very different to obviously be a part of it. There's no point of having a race on a schedule that no one wants to drive in, and maybe iRacing have figured that out over the course of officials this week. Don't know. But yes, it's a difficult circuit in these cars. There's no doubt about that one, but an enjoyable one as well. We're on to lap 20 now. In fact, Postolotta's 2/3 of the way round. He's lapped everyone up to 31st in the field. In fact, he's lapped a few more than that, up to 30th. Matthew Grady. So the gap's getting very big now, and that's mainly on pace, by the way. I mean, I haven't seen some of these guys, for example, having problems here. Obviously, Wedston has, but John Mackenzie's been riding his own race, really. 10 positions gained so far. No mistakes, really. But he's still 2/3 of a lap behind the leaders. That just shows you what time difference can be made around here.
Yeah, Barlow has got some pace. Townsma has had an issue, didn't he? He had an issue early on. Wedstead, of course, we saw had that issue. So both of these, to be honest, they've been in the pits and got out and got past John Mackenzie, who hasn't been in the pit. So, and then of course Potapenko we've seen as well, and that's not going to help John Mackenzie.
Into the wall, and well, I shouldn't have said that John Mackenzie hadn't had any problems so far, should I?
No, that's on you.
That stuff happens. Sorry about that. He's in the wall, and that might well be the end of his race.
Yeah, I think this close in or this far in, I think he probably would better off just giving it off. But you can see going into the mountain, he mounts the curve, that's not stopping. And
He was so wide on the entry there that he was almost better off going straight ahead and taking the slowdown there. I mean, I know it would have lost him a place, but it's better than being out of the race entirely. And obviously, hindsight is easier to judge with than real time. But even so, it's the much safer option if you're not sure you're going to make it through, just to bomb across really and take the slowdown, especially at this end of the race where you're not likely to have loads of people near you. I know Mackenzie did at the time, but this is an unusual grouping really towards the back end of the top 20.
Yeah, Stuart Milne, who I swear lost his wing. So he had been into the pits as well. So maybe he went in and got it done on a fast repair, I suppose. But he would have had to do. Where did he lose it on Townsman? Was that the chase?
Yeah, it was the chase.
I suppose he might have been able to get straight in and out again, mightn't he? So that's probably why we think he hasn't done it. Oh, Fioroni.
That was close. With Brown here getting overtaken. So I thought the amount of time that he spent trying to get past Jimenez was going to put paid to his chances at any more places, Fioroni, but he does get another. And Westman's not too far away. There's going to be another chance here to get ahead. Only 3 laps remaining, though, including the one they're just about to start.
Yeah, lap 22. So, and the leader is coming into Griffin's. He's catching up to what looks like Paolo Brem in 28th there as well. So it's been a very interesting race, and one that I think, as you say, is the battle of people who are able to keep it on track. You know, we've lost quite a few, so only 32 remaining. I only lost 1 second by mowing the lawn from the chicane to the final corner. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's a helpful part of it, to be honest. Even in the new grass updates, it's not so bad to go through there. You can't jump over the wall anymore, partly because the grass is so slow.
You can't?
No, definitely not. Can you imagine trying to do that through the grass these days and the gravel?
Oh, man.
So I somewhat feel like it's a little bit too sticky, actually, the grass and gravel. I think it slows them down a little bit too much, as I think we've got problems for Andrea Kata here. He's dropped out in terms of connection, and it could be a second week of non-finishes for Andrea Kata. I'm not sure he'd even get points for this either, judging, but I think he was about a third of a lap away from securing the classification distance at 22 laps. I think he has disconnected, though, unfortunately, from 4th place.
Yeah, he's gone, I think, unfortunately. So, yeah, he has gone. Chuck Morrow's coming in there with some pace, I'll tell you that much. Oh, Chuck, careful.
Yeah. Everyone needs to be careful at this.
Yeah, he was coming in there with some pace, though. Did you see it as well? I didn't think he was quite going to be able to hold it.
Yeah, as I said earlier, it's getting down towards the end of the race now. Everybody's unleashing. This is the moment where you start to brush those walls a little bit. Don't get too close, obviously, but and obviously smack your car up, but do get relatively close. This is the run down the hill for Matt Brewer. This was a while back, I think.
No, it's recently.
Oh, so he's come back out the pit lane again. He's lost his front wing again.
Yeah, lap 21, that was.
Okay.
Couple of laps back.
Am I getting him confused with someone else of having issues earlier?
Mackenzie lost it all in the mountain, didn't he?
Well, a lot of them have.
Hot Lobs and Milne there
anyway.
as well, still going at it.
Yeah, so no, I didn't think we'd seen that before, but I think he'd had something happen before to him. Not sure what it was, though, to be honest with you. Over the line again on the penultimate lap now. Third last lap. These guys are still a long way back. For Eddie Amos, Marek Sotlovs and Stuart Milne. As Chuck Morrow gets through on Marcus Putniks, or at least goes side by side with him into turn 2. And Putniks stays ahead. Chuck Morrow, though, has dropped down for good. Yes, he seems to have made a mistake. So I think he probably went wide through turn 2, and Putniks has gone through.
Yeah, Baroni's off.
What's happened to Ferroni? Must be down to Forest Elbow, I suppose. And, it's just a slide on the way in. He's going to get away without hitting a wall. So now, oh no! Oh, it's back. Well, oh no! This is terrible. Oh no, dear! That was a whole load of oh no's and
not an ideal rejoin.
Escape. Well, yeah, you're not meant to rejoin like that. So
no.
That was very close to disaster.
Yeah, it was as well. So, yeah, not an ideal scenario there once more. But, you know, I'm sure we'll see how that one, see what happens there. Glamsey has had an incident and Otlobs as well. So, yeah, it's all going off at the moment.
Side by side. In towards the chases for the penultimate time. I know the white flags are out, but they're not for them. It's still to go. Oh dear, off the road, very nearly. I'm sort of surprised he's pulled it up in time. Putniks now looks to the outside, and suddenly it's for 11th place over the last few laps. They've just been gaining a few after lap, and 3 positions basically. Bit of defence there as well from Murrow as he. Putniks behind him again, needs to be careful taking defensive lines like that though. It'll be a late apex from Putniks. He'll be in the slipstream now, looking for a way through. I don't think he's close enough though. The run onto the straight here just wasn't good enough, I don't think.
No, I don't think he was close enough at the moment. So we'll see what happens with Putniks. Can he get around the outside of Morrow? Not this time around, but the leader is coming down into the chase at the moment.
Yeah. So, leader Max Bortolotta has held on to this for pretty much the whole race so far, and looking for a few more corners to bring it home. Greg Sykes has pushed him all the way, and it's been a phenomenal pace set by the both of them in the 158s all day long. And now it's going to be victory. Max Bortolotta takes round 3 at Bathurst, just ahead of Sykes. And Newhoff was not too far away at the end either, as he set the fastest lap of the race, the only 57 of the race, set by Kenzie Newhoff finishing in 3rd. A race of high intensity up front there for Bortolotta, and a great battle in the end. That was a brave move. Stuart Mill making it up to 15th, excuse me.
Yeah, side by side, that was quite interesting. I'm not going to lie, going too wide down into there was very exciting, but he managed to make it through. So that's all that matters. But Stuart Milne, can he hang on down the Conrod for the final run?
Going to be good enough for Milne here. He'll be okay. Let's see, over the line. Sorry, over the hill. Chuck Morrow is going to get to 11.
I think he's going to hang on,
Putnix
yeah.
didn't have enough. Yeah, Putnix didn't have enough to hold on there. And Marty did not have enough to hold on for Ridgway. Oh, he's blocked up and he's got it all wrong. So Ridgway gets to 12th. Putnix is going to be 13th. And they all come across the line absolutely together. What about further behind? What about the other battles? Stuart Milne should hang on here to 15th and does do. What about Martin Devine? I think he's just ahead of Tumekens now. And Tumekens should be a little bit quicker. But obviously having issues throughout the day. Has had to recover from that. It's a very late moment on the brakes as well. I don't think he's going to have enough here. Or he's just going to run out of laps, I should say. The end of this one. Up towards the line they go. It's going to be defensive on the last lap. Tumekens with a chance to cut back and run to the line. Oh, he's got it wrong.
He's got it all wrong.
Yeah, into the wall. And that will be it for Tumekens. So 23rd it will be for him. Well, that will just about do it for round 3 here at Bathurst. Max Bortolotta, your winner by just under a second ahead of Greg Sykes and Kenzie Newhoff. Everywhere Nicholas Westman round out the top 5. Timo Brun and Tony Jimenez battled for 6th to the end. Luca Verani finished 8th on his own. 20 seconds further back was Conor Gibb ahead of Jack Williams, who finished inside the top 10. Chuck Morrow and Robert Ridgway 11th and 13th ahead of Marcis Putnix and Ewan Zuranau. Stuart Milne held on to 15th ahead of Eddie Amos. Then it was Adam Townsend who lost his rear wing during that race. Richard Wested also had his own issues. Vyacheslav Potapenko and Dorian Arroyo round out the top 20, with Benga at 21st and Martin Devine with the biggest moves. 18 places gained and 20 seconds in the end. He held off Tumekens to the line. Matthew Gracie finished a lap down, I believe. So did Paolo Bremer, John McKenzie, along with Patrick Rollins, Mark Totlofs, Sebastian Glamseater, all of them finishing 1 lap down. Andrea Catter and Francisco Ferroni may be classified. Maybe in the case of Catter anyway. Matt Brewer, I don't think will be. No. Clark Williams, Garrett Spence, Giovanni Solito, Giuseppe Diodoni, Pedro Suarez, Samuel Hermer, Renus Catini and Reed Dennis certainly won't be. They retired quite a long way from the end. Well, that is round 3 done, James, here of the iGPFun F3 League here from Bathurst. I like seeing these cars around this circuit. I like seeing any cars around this circuit, if I'm honest with you. I know that Garrett Spence doesn't want it again, but I wouldn't mind it. It's a nice place to go for any series.
Yeah, it is. I think it's an interesting one, as I say, made for certain cars, not made for others. Whether or not it's made for F3s, who knows? But as I say, I've seen W12s and they've coped with it. GT3s, maybe, something like that as well. But it is Parfitt and it is an interesting circuit, regardless of the car you come in on.
Yep, it's been a interesting 24 laps and an enjoyable 24 laps as well. But it's now time for us to bid our farewells. Thanks very much for watching here tonight. Make sure you subscribe to the JPB YouTube channel for all the other racing that is going on throughout the week. For now, we will say goodbye. I've been Ewan Leary alongside James Parfitt, and until we see you in 1 week's time, it's goodbye for now.